Destiny TV.
A very good evening and welcome to Lincoln Wambogo Live. Today being the 19th day of September 2018. Remember, we are live on Facebook. We are live here at Destiny Television Studios. And today it is my pleasure to host Professor Romanus Odhiambo. His name precedes everything that he holds. He is the Vice Chancellor of Meru University of Science and Technology. Professor, Karibu, thank you for coming. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Tell us about yourself, Professor.
Thank you very much, Wambogo. My name is Romanus Odhiambo.
Yes, sir.
I'm born again. Christ is Lord and Savior.
Most important.
I'm a professor of statistics.
Yes, sir.
I'm the Vice Chancellor of Meru University of Science and Technology. Before coming to Meru on 6th of August this year.
Yes, sir.
Up to that time, I was the Deputy Vice Chancellor, Academic Affairs, Jomo Kenyatta University of Agriculture and Technology, where I stayed for 10 years and 3.5 months. I'm very happy to be here.
We're happy to have you here as well, sir. Now, maybe we could start off, since we only have an hour and I know you're a professor. Words are not a problem. Maybe you can tell us about yourself, sir.
I would say that I'm married to Pamela Odhiambo, Dr. Pamela Odhiambo.
The politician.
The politician, the woman rep of Migori County.
Yes, sir.
But very importantly, as I've said, I'm born again. We run a church in Nairobi. But for the last 10 years, as I've said also, I have been the Deputy Vice Chancellor, Academic Affairs, Jomo Kenyatta University of Agriculture and Technology. The university where I went when I was a young man, I was employed there as assistant lecturer, and I rose up to lecturer, then senior lecturer, then associate professor, then professor back in 2007. I continue to supervise students at masters and PhDs, and also once in a while do teach students, and that has continued up to date. That's what I can say, that that's what I am for now, I think.
Okay. Yeah. So, sir, maybe you tell us, how do you fit between being Professor Romanus Odhiambo, being the Vice Chancellor of Meru University of Science and Technology, being the husband to Dr. Pamela Odhiambo, and being a father, and being a minister of the Word of God?
Thank you very much. I view my life as a servant,
yes,
and as a steward. A steward is somebody who has been put to do something by the owner, and the owner is God, and every individual is actually given talents. And so all the time, wherever I am, I want to exploit and to practice the talents that God gave me when He predestined me and built me in my mother's womb. And so what I've done is basically, if it is time for work between 8 and 5 in the university, I go and work. And as if my job giver, the one who gave me the job, is coming, the Christ. So I work excellently. When I go in the evening for all this time, I've been staying in my home with my children and wife. In the evening, I have time.
How many children, sir?
God has blessed me with children. I have 12 children.
Is this a Bible story or is it true?
This is true. Pamela, my wife, has given birth to 7 sons and 4 girls, and then we have 1 adopted orphan. So we have basically 12 children. And God has been very faithful. He provides for these children. I think it's just amazing how God has taken care of us. And so we balance. When it is time to work, we go work. Pamela goes to her place of work. Nowadays is a politician. She goes to the parliament and does her work. It's time for me to go and work. I come to Meru. In the morning, Meru University, you'll find me in the office at 8 up to 5. And then in the evening, now that I'm far, the children are in Juja, I call each and every one of them. I talk with them. And then in the church, we have a timetable. On weekends, Sundays, sometimes we do the wedding, sometimes I do the preaching with our other pastors. So it's just balancing. Sometimes you also have time for being a Kenyan. You must also have some businesses here and there. So you also have to talk with your employees. So it's just knowing this time, I'm supposed to do this. So you must have a calendar of activities. Of course, you also have to pray to God to give you the wisdom, to give you the knowledge, to give you the energy. And you do this happily, and God has enough wisdom and energy to make sure that you do all these things. That's what we do.
So what do you do to unwind?
To
unwind. Like for myself, I play Candy Crush a lot. What do you do?
Meru University, since I came 1 month ago, has been an excellent place for me. Because from the gate to my office is 2 kilometers. You know, you go towards it's like you are going to up the hill and then you go down. So whenever I reach the gate, I call Meru my Canaan. I light from my official car and walk. I'm trying to unwind. And then in the evening again, I also walk. So one of the things I like walking a lot. It's one of the ways of unwinding.
And how old are you, sir?
I'm about 57 years old.
57, you don't look 57.
Don't worry. Because of walking. I do a lot of walking. I do a lot of, I try to establish relationship, positive relationship. I spend a lot of my time in promoting positive relationships. The negative ones, though they are there, but I suppress them. I don't spend my energy remembering that when Bugu did for me this. No. Hiyo naona kama imepita. I try to look for things that will make me create a relationship and therefore witness to you. Not only through reading the Bible, but the way I do things. And that has really kept me moving. So that's what we do. And also, I like, although I'm not a good singer, but I like weekends, the praise and worship when they sing, and I just feel I'm in the heaven. And it helped me to unwind, and I feel very happy.
I tried singing once, and they told me just sing in the bathroom.
Yes.
So, sir. Tell me about your short stay at Meru University. How is it for you? For the short time that you've
coming to Meru, making a decision to come to Meru was not easy for me. And I want to tell Kenyans this, and all of you, my brothers and sisters who are listening to me, it was not easy. Having been in Jomo Kenyatta about 26, 27 years, and having been the Deputy Vice Chancellor Academic Affairs in Jomo Kenyatta 10 years and 3.5 months, and knowing very well that my boss who had been there was also retiring at the same time. As a human being, I expected to be a vice chancellor in Jomo Kenyatta with about 60,000 students.
And how many
students? Who would choose to come to Meru with less than 6,000 students? Unless you are crazy. But so I argued with myself that, and my wife Pamela did refuse the whole thing for about 3 days. By the way, when I was applying here, I didn't tell her I was applying because she's very prayerful. She had said that your place is Jomo Kenyatta. And I decided to apply in disobedience to my wife. And then I came for the interview, which I didn't tell her. When the letter came out, I went and picked it when I told her. She protested three days.
For 3 days?
But then after some time, again, I'd also done the interview in Jomo Kenyatta. And the results were coming at the same time. And of course, we did an interview with my colleagues there. And I was even more experienced and qualified, not better than them, but in terms of the years I've worked there. So I expected to be there. But after some time, my pastor, Senior Tobias Konyango, came in the house and told us, Prof, do you know your place is Meru? And he told me the story of Abraham and Lot, that Professor, go to Meru. And he referred me to the book where Abraham and Lot were struggling. We did an interview with my colleagues, so we were struggling. And he told me, forget about this, go to Meru. And coming to Meru, I became born again. In the sense that my attitude about Meru, my perception about Meru was that Meruans are proud people. Meruans easily get annoyed, they can wherever. They hate people. But my experience, starting with my secretaries and my driver, my secretary is called Mercy Mwiti.
Yes.
And then Miriam.
Yes.
And then there's another, the office assistant called Diana. And my driver, Gatobu. My first impression with them made me be born again.
Yes. About your...
Very humble people.
How you take Marians.
Yes, very humble people.
Yes, sir.
Very polite people.
Yes, sir.
And then I started interacting with my greater management team. Most of them are from this community.
Yes.
Humble people,
yes.
sharp people,
yes.
hardworking people.
Yes.
And then I interacted with all the staff. I've come to be born again.
Yes.
I tell people, my staff in Jomo Kenyatta, because they really loved me.
Yes.
I tell them that me, I've gone to Canaan. You have remained in misery.
Yes.
But I bless you, try to work hard.
Yes.
You never know, God is taking you also to a Canaan somewhere.
Yes. Yes.
So for me, Meru is a Canaan. And I just say, I don't just say it. Because it's so nice, it's so cool, very respectable people. And the university is just excellent.
Yes.
Very good.
Yes.
With a nice scenery, natural environment,
yes.
no pollution,
yes.
no dust.
Yes.
So I enjoy Meru. Meru is excellent for me. It's my Canaan.
Yes.
Yeah.
So maybe you could tell us what are the challenges that you faced so far, and what are the improvements that you're planning to maybe do the university?
Meru University started in 2009. And as I would like to tell you that I was involved in the transition of Meru College of Technology,
yes.
the then Mecotech,
yes.
from the college to university. I was the one that my Vice Chancellor then, Professor Mbuga and Jomo Kenyatta, appointed
yes.
to lead the team that was planning transiting Mecotech into Meru University College of Science and Technology, and then now eventually
yes.
becoming a chartered university in 2013.
Yes.
So I've been part and parcel of that. The challenges we had in Meru then was really to convince the staff who are in the college that they can allow the college to transit to the university. That was a challenge of convincing them, because many people did not want. But I really appreciate Kubaison, who was the then principal. He bought the idea and accepted, and we transited. Then Magambo came as the vice chancellor, as the principal then. And of course, there's always challenges of an institution, a young institutions, when you are starting. A lot of expectations. People expect now we have jobs here. People expect so many things within a short time. Now that was, he tried to build and then reach where he reached. But then now me coming, of course we know what has happened in Meru University from 2013 to now. The governor's challenges, touching on staffing, touching on students, the many expectation that the community has. Because one thing I've really been impressed with the Meru University and the stakeholders, starting with the leaders, the greater leaders of Meru University, is the concern that they have for the institutions. Everybody expected this and expected this, but I think this could not be achieved within a short time. So me coming, of course, when His Excellency President Uhuru Kenyatta did approve that to be appointed by the CS Amina, for which I'm really grateful as a Vice Chancellor. Coming here, I thought, I knew I was appointed as the Vice Chancellor of Meru University of Science and Technology. But because of so many stakeholders' interests, you know, Meru is 9 constituencies. So, Meru University, but each of them expect a portion. And you see, Meru University is headquartered here. I came as a Vice Chancellor here. I didn't know there were all others. This is one of the challenges I'm facing.
Is it a portion to take out or a portion to
No, I think a person to contribute, but also to get a bit of it so that you also make them come up, which I think is pretty right. So that's one of the challenges. Another challenge is of that issue of, you know, we are Kenyans. So I found people in groups. So one of my challenges is that how do you make these people think Meru University? How do you make them think that they have been given a responsibility to run the university as a national institution? So that's another challenge. We are working on that.
Yes.
And then another challenge, just like for all these small universities, is that, you know, the financial situation is going down, and we live here next to the forest, the elephants getting in and out and scaring people. There's not enough money really to put the boundaries and whatever. 2-3 weeks ago, there was a scare while Sabab, you remember?
I remember.
And students were very scared and what have you. And you know, our boundaries is just porous. Yeah. So some of these things, they happen, it is all coming to you, are only 2 or 3 weeks early. You don't know what to do with it, but we are managing them. So the other thing is the staffing, these small universities. You know, Meru University of Science and Technology is a different university. This is a university of science and technology. That means you expect to do courses like BSc Civil Engineering, BSc Electrical Engineering, BSc Mechanical Engineering, BSc Mechatronic Engineering, all those. But more importantly, you are also supposed to do BTech courses, Bachelor of Technology Mechanical, Bachelor of Technology Electrical, just like that. People would do there with their hands. But again, we have agriculture and water. Now, all these are expected to run, but you require the staffing. So the challenges I've noted just in the few times I've been there is that we don't have enough staff because the finances that come to the university is not enough. But all hope is not lost. There's still a hope.
How do you deal with student funding? You know, most universities run low on student funding. Students are paying their school fees.
This is excellent. You know, like where I've come from in Jomo Kenyatta, we had many self-sponsored students. So even if the fund was, the one we were getting from the government was low, and the government students were few, the many self-sponsored students were able to pay the fees. And so were able to survive a bit. The small universities have not reached that level. And so you find most of the students we have here are government-sponsored students. And the fees, the tuition fee they pay is not a lot. Sometimes I think it's between 16,000 maybe to 40,000. That's not a lot. And so you are not able to manage that. Going forward in future, I think, and this is some of the things we are trying to put in our strategies, is basically to look at alternative ways of raising funds. Meru University, for all of you, my viewers, is having land over 500 acres, a very fertile place. So one of the strategies we are thinking is how do we also use part of the land, because we also have School of Agriculture. How do we put part of the land to generate some crops, incomes? That's one thing we are going to do. We are trying to look about the dairy. We are trying to look about the crops like the potatoes, name them. The vegetables, like I've told my farm manager, I don't want to spend money buying vegetables. It has to come from our farm. I don't want to buy milk. It has to come from our farm. And who knows, soon I may not buy even meat. It has to come from the farm. So these are some of the alternatives we are trying to look at. We also want to look at, because universities are not just meant for teaching alone. There's also, that's where you have the best brains. So we are also trying to talk with our students, with our staff and students, really to get into research and innovations that can eventually attract more fund and innovations that can be incubated, and then we start seeing how we can sell them out. In that way, we'll start getting money to the university. And this I really appeal to the people who are viewing that we need to really support the university on this. Let me tell you, like our Chancellor, Dr. James Mwangi, the CEO of Equity, we are really grateful to what he has done to this university. This is a chancellor that donated almost 100 million.
From his pocket.
From his pocket. And he has put up a modern innovation center. The idea is any idea you have outside there, you can bring it and stay. We'll give you a desk with fully computerized environment, internet access, Wi-Fi, and it is incubated. And once it is ready, you can go and work on it. And these are some of the ideas that Meru University of Science and Technology is trying to explore, how we can also work with the people around us,
Yes.
the community,
Yes.
and then see how we can also have different access and create
Yes.
SMEs and that will not only benefit the university, but also benefit
The community. So that is just one of the of Meru University's impact to the community. What
That's
other
true.
impacts does Meru University have to the community?
Meru University has a lot of impact and future things that we can do together to the community, the local community.
Yes.
We are a university of science and technology. And some of the things we do agriculture, value addition is one of the things. Like today I was talking with some community leaders that came, that we want to train people on some value addition of agricultural products, like milk, for example.
Yes.
It's not just for making tea, it's not just for making what? We can train them on addition, on value addition. And I think in the next 2 or 3 weeks, we'll put in the press.
Yes.
People want to know how to make yogurt, and then how it can be certified by Kenya Bureau of Standards, and then you go start your business.
Free of charge.
Free of charge. Of course, they'll pay something little. You know, free things are not very good. But we are targeting the community.
Yes.
We want also train them on mushroom farming, because Kenyans must know that mushroom is also very good vegetables and healthy. So we'll train them, and eventually things like soap making and what have you, so that we are able to create some mini industries, cottage industries, and eventually, who knows, this one will go up. We are also going to train WASEs on, even some of them who do not know how to type, just like a CSR.
Yes.
In fact, like in one of the technology, one of my PhD students, who is a staff actually, Dr. Joy Irungu, was doing a PhD on how to convert waste into something useful.
Yes.
And one of the technology has come up with, we are all human beings. We go to the toilets, the human waste. Unaona? Mavi, as you call it, I'm sorry.
Yes.
So what Joy is doing is really how to convert that into something useful. And soon we are going to launch something. We have been working with some primary schools in trying to show them how we can do that.
Yes.
And it's something that is really going to help the schools and everybody in the community. So there are so many things we want to do, not to forget that there are short trainings, very many of them. People are coming also to work, clean and water. These are impacts.
Yes.
And then again in the community, instead of taking your child to Nairobi, paying fees there, paying accommodation there, paying transport, now the child is coming from your home to this. So it is just great. The borders are, the last 2 days they have made money because we are admitting new students.
Yes.
And you see, when the students are there, they use those borders.
Transport.
The Mama Mboga, you see, most of my students live outside the university.
Yes.
They eat, they are human beings.
Is it because the university
the hostels,
does not have enough hostels?
We do not have hostels. And this is one of the things I'm really appealing, although some people have already got up the ideas.
Yes.
We must learn to invest within the university, because our long-term idea is to create a university city.
Yes.
There's no reason of having 20 acres, 30 acres within the university. Sell them out to investors and put up buildings where our staff can live, where our students can live, within just 1 acre.
Yes.
I've seen it in Jomo Kenyatta. In 1 acre, you can make between 1 million to 5 million in a month. Then you can go and play golf. But then keeping a land of 10 acres, 20 acres, and lying nothing else. That's the dream, the impact we have for this place. And I'm appealing to all our community leaders who are around us to start thinking big, because university is an organization, it's going to explode. It took us about 10 years, there was nothing in Jomo Kenyatta. Now you go, it has become a university city. A place that used to cost 5,000 60 by 40 in the early 90s, today costs around 5 million to 8 million, sometimes without a title deed. That's the potential we have here, the impact that is going to happen in this university.
Professor, how is your relationship with Dr. James Macharia, your Chancellor?
James Mwangi is our Chancellor. I really respect him. It's one of the few gifts that God gave this country. He's ambitious, he's innovative, he likes things that move. And I think I would like to say that I've met him once, and that was the best time of my life.
Yes.
Just having time with the Chancellor and telling you his dreams of this country,
Yes.
his dreams of Meru University, of science and technology, and where he thinks he can go. And I think it's something really great. So our relationship with him is just first class.
Oh,
It's superb. And I think I now understand why God wanted me to come here, so that I meet like-minded people who want to create a change in this country. And I think when God is counting people who have changed this country, besides our presidents and other political leaders, James Mwangi will be one of the top 10. I can tell you that.
Yes. Now, Professor, maybe to take you back, Evans Njoroge, who was the Secretary General, was shot dead during peaceful demonstrations of the students of Meru University. What do you have to say about Evans Njoroge?
That was a regrettable event.
Yes.
A dark spot.
Yes.
Of this great university. By the way, my viewers, Meru University is destined to be the Makerere University of East Africa. Meru University is destined to be the MIT of Africa. But with that dream, with that vision, we have had some doubts in our face. And one of them was the shooting to death of that young man. I think it was early March this year. We regret it, and it's something that we really condemn.
Yes.
And it's one of the reasons that why we want to move and prove to the whole world that Meru University is a place to be. We are rebranding Meru University. And I think the best thing that we can do to that young man, Njoroge, is really to make university great.
Yes.
Because I think he died in his mind fighting to make Meru University the university of choice, Meru University the Makerere of East Africa, Meru University the MIT of Africa.
Yes.
And that makes us be very energetic, that even though it's dead, the dream stands. And I think that's where we want to go. We condemn what happened, and we really regret it. I think the system, the legal system is in place, and I think I leave it to the court to decide. The person who did this is already under the court, and I think it will be addressed at that level. But it's something we really regret.
Yes.
Yes.
Was the problem? Why did the students take to the streets? Was the problem solved? And will the problem be solved under your administration?
Time will judge, but I think I realized that one of the problems was the governance. The governance problem.
Yes.
The other problem was the policy. I think sometime, when you are dealing with, especially young people, like you, you want answer now, not tomorrow.
Millennials.
And that does not mean that it has to be yes or no, but you want it, even if it's a no, you are told, and the explanation given, you go ahead, you leave. My leadership, when I talked with the students, when I talked with the staff, when I talked with all the stakeholders, is that we will lead by open door policy. Students are customers and clients number one. We've done it in Jomo Kenyatta, and it has worked. So the first customer in Meru University of Science and Technology is the student. And I've told my staff that, I've told my deputies that, I've told everybody that, and we have started practicing. The governance issues, getting their things done, they were claiming they want their result slip. People were graduating before the result slip, and what are the transcript? Those are going to be addressed immediately. And so I'm saying that, yes, the things that made that young man die, we are addressing them in terms of governance structures, open door policy, having a regular meeting with all the stakeholders involving the student affairs, involving the academics and what have you, and also their leaders, the student leadership. We are going to have meeting every now and then. The new election, the new leadership have just been sworn in. We are also going to take them for leadership training for a whole week, starting next week, so that we tell them, yes, you campaign that when we get in, Odhiambo must go. Now you are in, actually Odhiambo should not go. But we should make sure that we do the best. And so we are also introducing that leadership training, and we are going to talk with them. And all this for the betterment of the university. When a student comes to the university, Wambugu, sometimes you find their parents sell the only 1 acre they have.
Yes.
So they expect that when Wambugu goes to the university, by the time he leaves, he'll come and be a great person and buy more land, buy more Mugunda.
Yes.
Okay? Not to be killed.
Yes. Not to be killed.
No.
Very unfortunate.
Yeah, so this is what we are trying to do.
Yes.
And so far, so good. I invite you people to come to Meru University and feel the environment right now. It's peaceful.
Yes.
The staff, everybody, the borders who are so many there,
yes.
they are already feeling the thing. And this is what I'm really appealing to all of you. Forget about the past. Meru University is a university to be.
Yes.
One of the things that really made me cry last night, as I was walking, I told you I always walk,
yes.
was the students, new students who were coming in yesterday. And so I left my office around 8:30 at night, and I decided to walk 2 kilometers.
Yes.
As I was walking, I met a lady from Pokot who had brought her daughter. And he told me, you know, when I got a letter that my daughter is coming this side, I said, oh no, Kikuyu again. You know, Pokot, they think Meru and water music. Yes. Yes. And she told me she's so happy that this university is actually the best.
Yes.
She found the hostels, the cleanest she has never seen.
Yes.
She found the environment so peaceful, no pollution.
Yes.
She found people very humble and orderly.
Yes.
And I was very happy. Then as I left her, I met another young man who had been admitted for Bachelor of Technology in Civil Engineering from Vihiga in Western Province.
Yes.
The same story.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, Meru University is the university to be.
Yes.
We are the only university of science and technology that is meant to cover 52% of Kenyans from Meru to the border. Somali, Ethiopia,
yes.
Sudan. And this is basically the only university that you can do science and technology in this country towards this part. That represent 52% of Kenyans.
Professor, that brings me to the question of how is your relationship with your management, your alumni, and your student leadership?
This is my 5th week. Before I came,
yes.
there were leaders like Professor Charity Gichuki was the acting vice chancellor for almost 5.5 months.
Yes.
And then Professor Gitonga was the DVC, academic research and student affairs. And then Dr. Guyo was the deputy vice chancellor, administration, finance and planning. And also there were the registrars, the finance people. This constitute my management and the dean of students.
Yes.
These people, Gichuki has been so supportive. You know, generally in Kenya, when you are acting and you don't get a job and another person come, you fight.
Yes.
Gichuki has received me like a brother.
Yes.
She supports me 100%.
Yes.
Gitonga has just been excellent with management.
Yes.
Most of these guys are senior than me in age, but the overwhelming support they have given me
yes.
is just overwhelming. My registrars, the finance officer, you know, the deputy registrars, the senators, it's just overwhelming. I pray that it continues. So my relationship with the management the last 5 weeks, I cannot complain.
It has been good.
Yes.
And how about the alumni?
Alumni, they keep on coming, but I've not have a regular meeting.
Yes.
But they are telling me, we have been praying from Meru University that we get somebody like you, and that means they love me, they respect me. I've met quite a number of leaders, and among them are alumni. And they are just so excited about it. I think I'm in my honeymoon. So far, I'm still in honeymoon, and it has been just great. I hope to maintain that and even to improve it faster.
Yes. Now my director tells me that it's time to take a short break. Stay tuned. We'll be back with Professor Romanus Odhiambo with more pressing issues about Meru University of Science and Technology.
Thank you, sir.
Destiny TV. This is Destiny TV.
Welcome back and thank you for joining us again. This is Lincoln Ombogo Live, and today we are glad to be hosting Professor Romanus Odhiambo, the Vice Chancellor for Meru University of Science and Technology. Now, Professor, the government's Big Four Agenda and Vision 2030 are pegged on technology and innovation. Please tell us, how is the University of Meru, being a science and technology university, how and where does it come in this?
Thank you, Lincoln. Number one, Meru University of Science and Technology, is a University of Science and Technology. Mm-hmm. So the Big Four agenda, number one is manufacturing.
Yes.
This is about eventually the country starting to develop its own items, not being a Mutumba country.
Yes.
Why do we have to import even a toothpick? And we have the brains.
And we have the brains.
Why can't we do this? I told my students when I was in Jomo Kenyatta about the laptop, because nowadays no university students can be in the university without her or his own laptop. And we realized when I was still there, and now in Meru here, that there's no way we can afford, because the student population were increasing. Like Jomo Kenyatta left them at 60,000. Meru now we are going to 6,000-7,000. Now every year if you have to buy a laptop, you are going to buy it from outside there. So we said this is not sustainable. Students have to start buying them. And we realized the best thing to make sure that it works, we start by assembly. Manufacturing, before you get there, learn how to assemble things. And then so we built a computer assembly. The parents and everybody complained. You must have seen me in the TV where I was being condemned. But the idea was Kenya must stop being a Mtumba country. That you celebrate this time because it has come from London or Dubai. Why can't we have ours? So the idea about manufacturing is about our government saying that we are growing now, we should also start learning to be producing our own primary products. And our educated people do it. Now that means we want engineers, we want architects, we want computer scientists, we want all this. Now those are why we call Meru University of Science and Technology. And one of the courses we do are actually BTech, Bachelor of Technology courses. It is going to address that. Do you hear me? Technology. Yeah. So all you are asking me how mass is going to answer to that. So manufacturing, our BTechs are going to participate. Our food techs are going to participate. Our computer scientists is going to participate in that. Number two, it's about affordable housing. Again, it is just these people. Because when you are building houses, you require consultants, the mechanical engineers, the architects, and whatever. Those are the courses we do. It is our researchers, our professors, to come up with the dynamics models, financial model that is going to help to choose which of the funding mechanism we can use to get the affordable housing. Because there are so many models. It is these researchers, but also training students really to participate in this. The food security and nutrition security. We have a very robust faculty of agriculture where we train people on food production, where we train people on value addition. You know, it's no longer useful just to produce mira. What happens in Igembe going those side up to Maua. There's one thing producing a raw mira, there's an added value when you process it and get what? And these are the things we are doing in our faculty of agriculture. Be it food science. We are talking about the milk, and I found from Meru here going up to Marsabit, there are so many animals. There are so many cows. So what is it that we can do besides the usual products of the milk? That milk, we can value add and all the rest. And this is a key activity that our faculty of agriculture through food science is going to be they're using.
Yes.
The same thing with the horticulture department, or new seedlings, new kind of things.
Yes.
Have crops that are drought resistant. It is Faculty of Agriculture. The last one is universal health care.
Yes.
We train students that are going to fit this. This country does not have enough personnel in healthcare.
Yes.
And so Meru University of Science and Technology, we are training nurses, we are training clinical medicine, clinical doctors, and we are going to get into public. We are also training public health, and I think the future is just bright. So for us, those being for agenda, because we are in science, technology, and innovation areas, it is actually our responsibility.
So maybe you could also tell us, in your opinion, what do you think are the measures to be taken to improve the service delivery at the Meru University?
I think we must have, I said it, one of them is open door policy. And not just at the Vice Chancellor, although the Vice Chancellor is the CEO, he has to be example. So that I'm already doing. And I expect everybody up to the grassroots that we have to lead by open door policy. We must break, we must all know, and I'm appealing to all my viewers, that Jomo Kenya, Meru University of Science and Technology is a national university. And we must embrace that. But we must also moderate it, because Meru University of Science and Technology is domiciled in Meru County. So balancing the national aspect and the county and the community aspect is something we are going to do. And that means that we have to involve all the stakeholders. A regular meeting between university management and the stakeholders, be it the community around, on the whole community, be it the political leaders, be it the county government, all this and national government. Everybody must come to realize that this is something that we have to do. We must rebrand Meru University of Science and Technology and forget about all these things. In fact, I was going through the list of my students. I just told you about Pokot. Pokot is very far.
It's very far, true.
And they have come and they're appreciating. I've told you about a student from Vihiga. They're appreciating. I've met students from Mombasa, Lamu. They're appreciating. This university is the university to be, and we are going to make it great. Thank you.
Growth comes with, of course, an increase in the number of students, one, and the other is infrastructure, and the other is now service. How do you intend to grow the population of the university?
We are just around 5,030 students now. But I told you that our dream, and by the way, I really want to appreciate our great-great-great-grandfathers, Njuru Chege or Meru. I mean, getting Wases who never went to school and thinking about setting aside land over 500 acres to be dedicated for education. That's wisdom that goes beyond academic. And it is only in Meru here, and I found one in Dida and Kimathi when I led a team there, where the community thought about this, and they did this. And even in Muranga, which is now the Muranga University of Science and Technology. So this, I really congratulate the Wases who did this. But coming forward, we want this university to be the best, and we are not just saying it. This is going to be the Makerere of East Africa. This is going to be the MIT of Africa. How are we going to do that? Our growth will have to be there, but not so fast, because it has to be planned. Gradual. My prayer is that in the next 5 or 10 years, we have about 10,000 students. But at 10,000 students, say Wambugu is one of them. When it comes out, people will ask, where did Wambugu go to university? So increasing the numbers, first of all, is like now we are only offering Bachelor of Technology. We are going to create others, Bachelor of Science, Civil Engineering, Bachelor of Science, Electrical, just like that. So one of the strategies to increase the programs, which are accredited by regulators, be it Commission for University Education, be it Engineering Board of Kenya, be it the clinical officers, blah, 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 all that. So we are going to increase the numbers and make sure that they are accredited. We are also going to see how we can attract some of the best staff. Because when you have best staff students will be coming.
Yes.
Be there at masters and PhD. That's
Yes.
something we are going to do so that the numbers go up.
Yes.
The other thing, we must also look at where our students stay. Good universities must put their eyes where the students stay. And I just say put their eyes.
Yes.
That does not mean they have to fund it, but you can get somebody to fund their accommodations so that you create a university city where when the student is there, he has a good place, he has a good place to sleep, he has a good place to eat, he has a good place to do his photocopying and what have you, and studies and what have you. And we are going to partner with the communities, and I really appeal to the community in Meru. And I challenge them that Juja was worse than here. Everybody's admiring Juja. And you know, Juja has been built not by the government.
Yes.
It's the community themselves and the people from all over the world. And this is what we can do here. That I challenge the investors, the communities around to put themselves in groups and not to continue having large land. You don't need that. They sell it and remain with about 2 or 3 acres and develop nice, excellent flats.
Yes.
I'll bring you the students. My staff will not be going to Meru town to sleep in Meru town.
Yes.
They'll be sleeping around the gate there. And when that happens, they'll be walking from their offices, laboratories, and they're going home.
Convenience.
Convenience.
Yes.
So this is a challenge I'm giving to the community and all other investors really to think about Meru and do this. This is something we will do. And finally, I think the government and all the stakeholders, I think the problem I've seen right now, the amenities like water is still a challenge. And I really appeal to the government. The government here is too, the national government. And what I think is a devolved thing. Appeal to the county government. The roads around are still not very good, and I think I'm going to appeal to these people to help us put up these facilities so that the students and the community can find reason why they stay there and eventually build a university city.
Now I understand that Meru School is on fire. A dormitory is on fire. This is breaking news, and a few students have been rushed to hospital. What can you comment about maybe these strikes that have become rampant? What is the problem? What is the root of the problem of these strikes in high schools? And we do not also want them to continue, students to continue the same mentality and take it to universities. How can it be stopped at the incubation level?
I think what is happening in Meru now is regrettable. I'm a trained teacher. I'm a father. I'm a church leader. I'm a serious stakeholder in education in this country. I think we have to relook at how we manage our children as parents at home. If you are a parent, we need to relook at how we manage these children when they are at school. As a trained teacher, I was told that when Wembugu is my student in class, in the school, I'm actually a surrogate parent. The way I treat Dennis, the way I treat Faith, my daughter, is the way I treat you. I'm a surrogate father to you. Pamela, my wife, is a surrogate mother to you. So these are the things that all the stakeholders, especially the parents and the teachers in the school, the headmasters more so. We are living in a generation where brute force does not work. The children today are sharper. They may not be wise, but sharper than us. And we need to listen to them. Create open doors where they can come. Create time to listen to them. And as I said before, listening to them does not mean you are going to say yes, but they just want to know why. And then there's a culture that has been brought. This now applies to you young generation today. When I went to school, before going to school in the morning at 4, I used to wake up when my parents are still sleeping. I go and farm with cows. And then I come back at 7:30 without breakfast. I ran to school. I come back at around 4 is when I eat. And that continued up to the university. Today's children They wake up, they watch TV, and do any other things. The parents do not want them to do this.
Yes.
And so there's a paradigm shift that the energy that these children, the potential energy hidden, is so great, if not well controlled. Like if they want to hear something, it should be available.
Yes.
So appeal to fellow teachers, especially the headmasters. Let's change our management style. Be there, preempt.
Yes.
If there's something like exams is coming next term, prepare the student early, make them feel comfortable. Let us clear the syllabus early.
Yes.
I went to a school and a university where I've never experienced strikes. From standard 1 to high school. During our school, it was Form 6.
Yes.
And the headmaster used to preempt most of these things. The syllabus, which sometimes the students get stressed when exams is coming, we used to finish our syllabus by March. I saw that with my friend David Kariuki. Was it David? Kariuki.
Alliance.
In Alliance.
Yes.
When my children were there, who were finishing syllabus in March. Now my girls, the 3 girls are in Alliance girls, we are doing the same.
Yes, sir.
Let's finish these things early and let students be ready for exam much earlier so that they don't just realize, oh, exams are coming the next day. What can I do and I'm not prepared?
Yes.
Ban the school and then things will not work. So these are the things I really want to appeal to fellow parents.
It should not be an option.
It should not be an option.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, sir, the message is coming in, and someone here is saying that loving the good work Destiny Television is doing. The Vice Chancellor is amazing. Long live the Professor.
Thank you.
Now, another one is also saying, Anne from Tharaka Nithi is saying that the interview is amazing and it's fire. Now, another one is saying, wow, I like what is happening to Meru University. The new VC is on top. All the best, sir. That is Lucy from Meru. Then another one is saying, welcome to Meru, sir, Professor, and congratulations, Destiny Television, for this interview. You are going places. This is Nkatha Tina from Maua.
Great.
Also, some of the messages coming in. And, sir, maybe you tell us, all this, for you to be termed successful, the relevance of the programs that you're offering have to matter or have to be considered in the current job market. What is the relevance of the programs at Meru University to the job market?
Thank you very much. In Meru University, we have been very cautious in the kind of programs we are offering. They are actually answering to the Vision 2030, to the His Excellency President Uhuru Big Four agenda, to what we really want. That's why we have been very cautious. We offer courses in STI, Science, Technology, Innovation. In fact, sometimes STEM, Science, Technology, and Mathematics. And so you'll find that we are offering engineering courses at technology level, but I've said we are going to expand them to science level. That is science, BSc Engineering, BSc wherever. We offer courses in agriculture. And these are courses besides the engineering where you can actually self-employ yourself. Allows self-employ yourself. We offer courses in computer science, in IT, in forensic science. There's a lot of ICT-related thuggery in this country. Let me tell you, I came here and I wanted a bit of loan from the bank. And when you go apply for the loan in the bank, they do their due diligence. One of them is CRB, Credit Bureau, Revenue Bureau. And I was just told I'll not name the bank that I'm actually listed. Listed
by CRB.
Now, when we checked, I've never taken loan. I'll not tell you where. Somebody put my name there, thinks he was taking loan. And this is actually to do with the ICT-driven cheating. And the forensic scientists, that's why we are training them, how they can address some of these things. You go in to withdraw your money with an ATM card, and somebody just wherever, and they start messing you. My chief in the village lost 2 million.
What?
Because he was withdrawing his money lately. He had just sold some of his land, and somebody copied. And within 2 days, the 2 million was gone. Forensic and ICT are the in thing.
Yes.
And this is what Meru is doing here. The new government that we have right now talked about Talents Academy.
Yes.
And so you find in Meru University we are doing the education science.
Yes.
And teachers are the ones going to mentor people outside. We have a new system of education.
Yes.
And we are just in a hurry to see how we can produce the right kind of manpower, the right kind of teachers, especially in science, because our interest is science, technology, and innovation. So we are training those kind of teachers which are going to go outside there with their Talents Academy and all the rest. By the way, Meru University is the only university in East and Central Africa where we have like a center of excellence in talents called handball games. You can't get it anywhere. We just hosted people who are playing handball from the whole country about 2 weeks ago, with some people coming from US, about 5 coaches. And we are the only university that is doing that. So we are also training people on talents and new areas that can actually be very useful. And Kenyans, I went to a school, Kanotunga High School, Musocho. Most of you who are senior are aware about Musocho in the 70s and 80s and 90s. That was the alliance of that time. And one of the things they were doing is really producing an all-round kind of students. So if it is games, we used to go to games, the talents, be it volleyball, be it football, be it all the hockey and all the rest. Now, this is no longer the case nowadays, that you find we are producing bookworms, but people don't read, they're just smart guys, and that's what is happening. So, Meru University is training teachers that will address some of this, which is really very relevant. So, this is the university of choice for all of you, and I really appeal to you to consider Meru University of Science and Technology.
So, on the matter of sports, what is so unique about Meru University in matter of sports?
I always enjoy when I walk. I tell you, I walk in the evening a lot, and I find my students just playing everywhere. And that's good for these young people, exploiting the energy that they have. But very uniquely, Meru University is the only university that has introduced handball in this country. Baseball, I think, is sandball. Yeah, and we want to really make sure that this one is domiciled here and trained properly, and eventually we start taking all the other places.
Now, sir, I understand that it's almost time for news, so we'll have to excuse Waheto Gishohe, who will be reading our news bulletin tonight. But, sir, I don't know if you'll allow, but we can come back and ask a few more questions after and conclude. So the professor is all right, I'm all right, the cameramen are all right. So stay tuned. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
This is Destiny TV.